these rashis, which are called the zodiac signs. If we want to categorize that, how do we categorize that? What is of what value, or how it works? Is if house is a promise, Rashi or the zodiac sign that falls in that house is the nature or the environment or the flavor of that house. If ninth house is your father, ninth house of your chart
Yeah.
is your father.
Yeah.
So, how your father is, or how your ninth house is, or everything that is related to the ninth house, what is the nature of the things that are related to your ninth house, is depending on the Rashi that is falling in that house. Like if you have Leo in the ninth house, you can say that father can be authoritative. Yeah. Leo sign, it is the sign of authority. It is ruled by sun. If fourth house is of mother, and you, let's say, you are a Taurus Lagna, you can say that mother would be very authoritative, or would be authoritative
Right.
in simple terms,
Yeah.
because the effect of the Rashi would be seen in that house. All right? You
Right.
with me?
Yes.
So, would somebody have a mother or not? That is depending on the affliction or the situation of the fourth house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Having a mother or not having a mother is one thing, or motherly care is,
Yeah.
is somebody getting motherly care or
Yeah.
not. That depends on the affliction of the on the fourth house.
Yeah.
If fourth house is doing good, by just putting the Rashi there, you can talk about the nature, the related significance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understand what you get from that house will obviously depend on the planet that is the lord of that house, the affliction or the beneficence which is there on the house. So if house is in a good condition, planet ruling that house is also in a good condition, you would get enough of the significations which are related to that house. But the nature would still be as per the zodiac sign in it. So it is very, very important that we study about these zodiac signs, and every zodiac sign has a nature of its own. So, like we spoke about the fact that how have we divided the sky in 12 parts of 30 degrees each. So, you've got to understand this thing that when a planet is in X Rashi, so that means it is in the X part of the sky. Like the first commencing Rashi is, or the first sign is Aries. So when a planet is in that zone where you are saying that this part is called Aries, and when a planet comes in that area, so there's an environment of that area,
Right. Right.
yeah, of that part. So
Yes.
some places in the zodiac, or some places in the universe are cooler places in the environment,
Yeah.
and some places are hotter. And this has been amazingly observed and documented and then worked on by the sages, that different planets behave differently
Yeah.
and impacts us differently
Yeah.
from different positions, which means
Yes.
from different rashis or from different zodiacs. How do you get the rashis in your chart? You're aware?
Yes.
You are Virgo Lagna, right?
So it's the sign which appears in the east at the moment of your birth.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You know when you're born. at that particular moment, whichever sign or whichever star stream is seen on the eastern horizon.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we see the eastern horizon when the sun rises in the morning.
Yeah.
At the time of sunrise, we see sunrise there
Uh-huh.
on the eastern horizon. Similarly, whenever you're born, there would be, because Earth is rotating and it completes a cycle in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So each sign is rising for approximately 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah. So different signs take different kind of time, but for average, you can take 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some signs are taking longer and some signs are taking shorter time. But approximately, you can say it is around 2 hours that a sign takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, average is 2 hours. And every sign rises for 2 hours, and then the next rises for next 2 hours. And that is how 12 signs rise, and within the period of 24 hours
Mm.
is the time that Earth takes to complete one rotation on its own axis.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
And that is the one day by the calendar that we use, the Western calendar or the English calendar that we use, AM or 00 hours
Mm.
to 2400 hours, which is 12 AM in the night, 12 AM to 12 AM. From midnight to midnight, you
Yes.
calculate one day,
Yes.
and that is not how it is calculated in the Vedic system. So Vedic system, you see, is more scientific,
Yeah.
more relative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is not because I want to make it like this for my own convenience. It is not
Yeah.
like that. A day in Vedic system is from sunrise to sunrise, whether it is 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after. Although for all the other worldly matters, it will be difficult to take note of that. And managing time and managing stuff would be a little difficult. But this system, the Vedic timekeeping system, is more scientific, and it is more like based on this space and time,
Right.
and not just on your own convenience.
Mm.
Yeah. So the one day, which is a var in Hindi, the weekday
Yeah.
is called var.
Yeah.
So it is from the sunrise to the sunrise
Right.
in the Vedic system. And then there's a lunar month.
Yes.
Moon, for 14 days waxes, and then on the 15th day, it is the full moon, and then the waning moon for next 14 days, and the new moon.
On the 15th. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the lunar calendar that we use here in the Vedic system.
Yeah.
The Tithi system, all the festivals that in India, those are celebrated. Apart from the ones which we've got from the West, like the Christmas and
Mm.
the other things, and of course the Independence Day, which is celebrated on the 15th of August, or the Christmas Day, or the 1st of January, which is celebrated as the New Year's Day. So these are all the modern festivals that we have, but older festivals that those are celebrated based on the time and space theory only, or the exact position of sun and moon. Yeah. We are celebrating Ganesh ji's birthday, God Ganesha's birthday.
Mhm.
It is Ganesh Chaturthi.
Mhm.
Chaturthi means the fourth lunar day. Ram Navami. Navami means the ninth day.
Right.
Ram was born on the ninth lunar day. You
Yeah.
know the month of sun, you know which month it is, and you know the tithi. So
Yes.
that is how dates are kept, and
Yes.
which makes sense because the cosmically the alignment is exactly same as it was when this at the same time, and something happened, the next year we will celebrate that day when the same cosmic alignment is there.
Right.
So it becomes more scientific.
Right.
But it is kind of when you're talking about the global unity or making things easier or convenient for people to use, the English calendar is makes more sense because everybody can use it and people can align accordingly. Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
but the Vedic timekeeping system or the calendar system is kind of more scientific,
Yeah.
and it is precise also. For thousands of years it has been predicted by the panchangs. Then when it is that you're going to get the lunar eclipse
Yeah.
or the solar eclipse,
Yeah. Yeah.
it is seen by the ephemeris that is being used for years and years or
Yeah.
for ages and ages. So the system is kind of quite accurate in itself. You know the importance of the planets, and now it is the time for Rashis. There's an ancient text called Vamana Puran, and there's this incident where Pulastya Rishi, a great sage, explains these signs to Narada Rishi. Narada Rishi is what you say is a priest of gods or devtas. Narada Rishi.
Mhm.
He is a very popular character in the mythological stories
Mhm.
in India. So Pulastya Rishi explains, and I've taken it as reference. It makes more sense for the Indian students, but I thought since it is already there in my presentation, why not take it? And
Yes.
we will go to the signs one by one, and we'll try and learn more about these signs technically also, and understand them properly and their nature properly. But just for reference, I want to start from here. So these are Sanskrit shlokas which are translated in English.
Yeah.
So, and I've put them in inverted commas because this is what is being told by one rishi to the other. That when he is explaining Aries, he says that Mesha, which is Aries, looks like a ram. It circulates among goats, sheep, and regions holding wealth and precious stones.
Mhm.
Wanders on grasslands, lakes surrounded by vegetation. So, this is the Western sign. You can see my cursor, right?
Yes.
This is the Western sign that I've used here. And this is the picture. So, we are talking about the nature of this sign, and this sign's behavior is like that of a ram.
Right.
So, if you know about a ram, they are kind of short-tempered,
Mm.
combative, springy.
Mm.
They jump when they move. Yeah,
Yeah.
the behavior is kind of hardy, and they move in a springy manner. And when they fight, they kind of they bashes the head
Mm.
with the other ram. Yeah,
Mm. Mm.
when they fight, they hit each other by the forehead, and that's the way they fight. The Aries sign that we're talking about, this sign is like this is ruled by Mars.
Yes.
Okay? And this is a very active sign. This is
Mhm.
the first sign of the zodiac. The person born under this sign, either in the ascendant or uh, as the moon sign, will have the nature of this sign.
Right.
Yeah, will have prominent characters of Aries.
Right.
Yeah, prominent characteristics. So,
Fiery and very active, or
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. The
Mm.
person will be very, very active, kind of athletic. So, as far as mental tendencies are, people are active, ambitious, impulsive. They like changes also. So this is called, this is a movable sign. So they like changes also. They
Yeah,
cannot,
yeah,
they cannot sit for longer or do the same kind of work every day.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They have a natural leadership quality.
yeah, yeah.
They want to lead others,
Mm.
and they do not like to be a subordinate or a follower.
Right.
See, the natural quality so, is of a leader. It is a positive sign. It gives determination, will, intent to do something, to
Yeah,
start something. Yeah.
yeah,
But because it is the start of the zodiac, it is it is kind of a the resources are kind of minimalistic resources, and there's no luxury in this sign per se.
right,
Yeah, they uh, just about what is required, and there are no luxuries.
right.
As well. Yeah, because this sign also shows the struggle. This sign also, uh, so the human nature, humans have been migrating, and by nature it is like the survival instinct.
You're right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it is there, what you see in this sign. It is the sign of taking up challenges.
yeah.
You take up challenge wherever this sign is in your chart. With 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 that kind of house, you would take up challenges, would, even if you are not kind of ready for them, you take up,
Right. Okay.
ready to take up the challenge
Mm.
in
Yeah,
in that area wherever this sign is falling.
yeah, yeah.
That way is also, that is
So
also one way to get it.
there can be the quality of overestimating one's own ability
Yeah,
also.
but not exactly overestimating, but it is kind of the courage or the
Right.
show of attitude that I can do it and I can
Ah,
show
yeah,
it.
okay. Yeah.
Or maybe that I have to do it and nobody else would be able to do it. Yeah, it is kind of a
Mm.
leadership quality that is there
Yeah.
associated with this sign, that
Uh-huh.
who else would do it? I am the one who has to dirty my hands and do it, and kind
Yeah.
of, yeah. So the things that you would hear that nobody else was doing, and then I had to do it. Uh,
Yeah.
um, so this is what you hear, and people, when there's a planet which is activated in the dasha, and if it is sitting in the Aries sign, people take up challenges which are kind of not regular, everyday life kind of things.
Mm.
Yeah? Because they need to do something, kind of take up a challenge which is not, or something that nobody else is doing. And even if it is at the workplace, the people take up projects which nobody else is taking up, or the responsibilities nobody else is taking up.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So it can be, is a very good friend.
mm.
Yeah, because uh, anybody uh, who's had a problem or who's had a fight, this person with Aries ascendant would be the first person going with him, that okay, let's go, I will go and fight with you,
Yeah, yeah.
no matter if he knows what the matter is, or if he is aware of the situation, he would be ready to go and fight for the friend.
Right.
They become
Mm.
good friends of people.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
So you can find a Aries ascendant person, make him a friend, and whenever you are in trouble, you can expect him to be there with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they are kind of that. That is kind of nature that you
Mm.
see uh, associated with the Aries sign. So it is a fiery sign, a courageous sign, It shows courage because Mangal or Mars rules it. If it is afflicted, people are kind of over impulsive, overconfident.
Right.
If it goes bad, they kind of people you would see with bad temper. They would not be truthful also if it is afflicted.
Okay.
Yeah, can be, you can write untruthful, use a term like foolhardy, or a over smart person, fighting for no reason at all.
Mm.
It's somebody who's fighting just for the sake of fighting
Mm.
because he likes it that way, and he's
Yeah.
kind of fighting with everybody else.
Yeah.
Generally, health wise, people born with Aries are good in health. They are although prone to accidents, but they are good with health. They may get headaches at time, uh, inflammatory diseases,
Mm.
high fever, migraine, blood pressure issues also at a later age.
Mm.
Yeah.
Restlessness.
Yes.
Mm. Mm.
Symbol is of a ram. So you understand the
Mm.
behavior of a ram, that he is
Mm.
springy and jumping and when
Mm.
moving, very, very active and energetic and ready
Mm.
to fight, and fights with his kind of with his forehead. And all the rams fight with their forehead, which is the kind of
Mm.
that it is very, very upfront and ready to fight, take take things head on. It is a Kshatriya sign. So I don't know if you know about this concept, the caste concept in India. Although
Yeah.
later it was kind of corrupted and misused by
Yeah.
some authorities, or some people started using it the wrong way. But earlier in the ancient times, or the right meaning of that caste system was a person was known by the kind of work he was capable to do.
Right.
Yeah. So somebody who is teaching or who is doing the knowledge work, whether he is teaching the primary class students, or he is teaching higher education, or he is teaching a particular subject, he is doing the work of a Brahmin.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So Brahmin is the topmost category among caste that have been created, because uh, it is acknowledged that knowledge is supreme. Yeah. So because knowledge is supreme, people working for knowledge, sharing knowledge, and all that stuff, studying, teaching, kind of, uh, and uh, and the spirituality part also, people who are kind of doing the religious procedures, they were also called Brahmins. The other category was of people who were fighting, like all the kings and these people, chief commanders and the army commanders and people of those kind, who were
Mm.
the strong people who were doing the main kind of security work, or the warfare stuff. They were called Kshatriyas. The people who were trading,
Mm.
who were like buying and selling, like
Mm.
you see the marketplace and people who are buying and selling, they were called Vaishyas. The fourth class, which was called the Shudras. Shudras means people who are serving, who are working for their own survival first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their main motive is to uh, think about feeding themselves first, and not thinking of the society as much.
Mm.
But they are also required because they do all the work that is actually required to do. So they are called the Shudras. So these were the four main categories, uh, in which people were kind of divided.
In earlier times, it wasn't transgenerational.
Yes. So
Yeah.
now it is
Yeah.
simply because you are born in a
Yeah.
family which has
Yeah.
certain caste name,
Uh-huh.
but again it has to be kind of it should be seen in the way it was actually made and not just used by the names. But unfortunately it has kind of gone in the family lineage only, and not by people are not demarked by the kind of work they do.
Yeah. So
Now,
in earlier times, like, would have been a pundits who looked at a chart and said like, this guy belongs to.
yeah, it can be, and it is possible that with astrology it is possible, yes.
Yeah.
That you see somebody's chart and you tell him that, and if you see the Kshatriya quality, and the person tells you that, I want to do a sitting job,
Yeah.
yeah, you can tell him that you're made for stuff like joining the army or joining the police,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and do those kind of jobs. You are capable of doing. Nature has made you capable of doing that kind of work.
Right.
Yeah, nature has made you strong enough
Yeah.
to be able to do that kind of work.